Oh, Murkowski, no. Murkowski voted no. Okay. I just saw that Murkowski voted no. They are voting, and Murkowski voted no. So that is from Benji Sarlin from NBC News. Murkowski has voted no. Now, perhaps it is significant that Mike Pence is not in the chair. I don't know. Would he be in the chair if they thought the bill was going to pass? McCain voted no. McCain voted no. That's from Jamie Dupree. McCain voted no. Well, it's not looking good for the bill, I'll tell you that. Because Murkowski and McCain both have voted no. Thank you, Deplorable Sandy. Yeah, she says they're voting now. That's why they're calling names. I didn't know if they called names once and then they did it again for the vote. So thank you, Deplorable Sandy. You were right. Steve Feist says, don't expect anything and you won't be disappointed. Joe says they wait until 1:30 a.m. to vote against repeal for a program they campaign to repeal that I have to pay for at 6 a.m. LOL. That's from Joe. Well, it looks to me, unless like something changes here, this vote is not. It's gonna fail. Oh, Jamie says. Jamie Dupree says now we thought we saw McCain put a thumbs down. So actually, maybe he didn't vote no after all. So the person, Jamie Dupree, who's very reliable, who I follow, originally said McCain voted no, and then he says we thought we saw McCain put a thumbs down. So now we don't know. Benji Sarlin from NBC News is saying the ship be sinking. So the general feeling right now, at least for the moment, is that the bill might not pass. Let's see. But now I'm hearing that would be no votes from McCain, Murkowski, and Collins. That would be enough to stop the skinny bill if they all vote no. McCain votes no to Stephen Dennis. McCain votes no to gasps in the Senate chamber, dooming repeal bill. It looks like this bill is not going to pass. So JC, if you want Obamacare, if you want the Obamacare repeal to happen and replacement to happen, you want yes. So the people voting no are voting against passing. They're voting basically to keep the status quo, to keep Obamacare, because they're voting against the proposed replacement bill. Dale Lee Paul says the only debate on the Senate floor is over which speed the train goes off the cliff. Dina says he walked up there after McCain walked up there after he voted no and said something, but I couldn't hear him. Shane Flanagan said he voted no. Clearly heard him say no, and all the Dems cheered. So embarrassing. So it sounds like Democrats were applauding for McCain when he voted no. Shane Flanagan writes, from the Democrats, Liz Warren jumps around like an idiot cheering. I'm going to delete my tweet that says perhaps McCain didn't vote no because he clearly did vote no. So I'm listening right now. Maybe you can hear. I'll turn up the volume. Maybe you can hear along with me. This is my... McCain voted no. They're reading off the votes right now. McCain voted no. So McCain, Murkowski, and Collins all vote no. That will doom this bill, apparently. Hold on, I'm listening to hear what they say. Waiting to get a final count here. Yes, 3 Republicans have voted no. I'm very soon. I think I'm going to change the lower third to Obamacare replacement bill doesn't pass. Now, the vote's not over yet. There could always be a flip. McCain could change his mind or something. But for right now, it looks like this bill is not going to pass. Douglas Krantz writes in vote 44 yes, 51 or 56 no. That's what Douglas Krantz thinks is going to happen. Sorry, I'm just checking my various things to see if I can get you any updated information here. So a lot of reporters are saying very dramatic tonight in the Senate chamber. And it really sounds like people didn't know how McCain was going to vote, because supposedly when he voted, there were some gasps and also cheering from the Democrats. So he might have not told anyone how he was going to vote. If you have any comments on what's going on, write to me at @Lookner. I want to hear what you think about this. @Lookner on Twitter. Vita Marie, is it Vita? I always forget Vita Marie. They don't care what we say, she says. They only do what they want. They are supposed to represent us. Need to listen to us. Hashtag Dems out. Hashtag Rhino out. That's from Vita Marie. I Am Resistance says, is the super nuclear option available? There is no other option. P. Tudsbury writes in, remember the 6th of November, 2018, vote them out. That's from P. Tudsbury. See if I can, sorry, I disappeared for a second. Oh, I have a little video I can show you right now. Let me show you this. What is this video? Let me see it. All right, I'm going to show you a clip that ABC News Politics posted that Strom voted sent this to me, so I want to show it to you. So hold on while I go away for a second from the Senate footage. There's a reason I'm doing this. Hold on, folks. Hold on. What I want to do is go here. See if I can show this to you. Where is it? Where'd it go? It disappeared. It's ABC News Politics. ABC. There it is. Okay, I got it. Here's the video, folks. This is when, This is when McCain voted no. Gasps and applause from the Senate floor as McCain votes no on skinny Obamacare repeal. Ready? I'm going to play it for you. This is... If I can get the volume up a little bit. Okay, let me go back. The bill has not passed. 51 to 49. 51 to 49, I'm seeing on C-SPAN. McConnell is speaking right now.
From skyrocketing costs,
I think he's speaking right now.
and collapsing markets, our constituents have suffered through an awful lot under Obamacare. We thought they deserved better. It's why I and many of my colleagues did as we promised.
I'm gonna put McConnell on the air.
Mr. President,
Majority Leader.
I ask unanimous consent that H.R. 1628 be returned to the calendar.
Is there objection? Without objection.
So, Mr. President, this is, clearly a disappointing moment. From skyrocketing costs to plummeting choices and collapsing markets, our constituents have suffered through an awful lot under Obamacare. We thought they deserved better. It's why I and many of my colleagues did as we promised and voted to repeal this failed law. We told our constituents we would vote that way, and when the moment came, most of us did. We kept our commitments. We worked hard, and everybody on this side can certainly attest to the fact that we worked really hard to try to develop a consensus for a better way forward. And I want to thank everybody in this conference for the endless amount of time that they spent trying to achieve a consensus and to go forward. I also want to thank the President and the Vice President, who couldn't have been more involved and more helpful. So yes, this is a disappointment indeed. Our friends over in the House, we thank them as well. I regret that our efforts were simply not enough this time. Now imagine many of our colleagues on the other side are celebrating, probably pretty happy about all this. But the American people are hurting and they need relief. Our friends on the other side decided early on that they didn't want to engage with us in a serious way, to help those suffering under Obamacare. They did everything they could to prevent the Senate from providing a better way forward, including such things as reading amendments for endless amounts of time, such things as holding up nominations for key positions in the administration because they were unhappy that we were trying to find a way to something better than Obamacare. So I expect that they are pretty satisfied tonight. I regret to say that they succeeded in that effort. So now I think it's appropriate to ask, what are their ideas? It'll be interesting to see what they suggest as the way forward. For myself, I can say, and I bet I'm pretty safe in saying for most of the people on this side of the aisle, that bailing out insurance companies with no thought of any kind of reform, it's not something I want to be part of. And I suspect there are not many folks over here that are interested in that. But it'll be interesting to see what they have in mind. quadrupling down on the failures of Obamacare with a single-payer system. We had that vote a little earlier, thanks to the senator from Montana. Almost everybody voted present. Apparently they didn't want to make a decision about whether they were for or against socialized medicine, the government takeover of everything, European health care. Only 4 of them weren't afraid to say they didn't think that was a good idea. So maybe that's what they want to offer. We'll be happy to have that debate with the American people. So, it's time for our friends on the other side to tell us what they have in mind. And we'll see how the American people feel about their ideas. So I regret that we're here, but I want to say again, I'm proud of the vote I cast tonight. It's consistent with what we told the American people we'd try to accomplish in 4 straight elections if they gave us a chance. And I want to thank all of my colleagues on this side of the aisle for everything they did to try to keep that commitment. What we tried to accomplish for the American people was the right thing for the country. And our only regret tonight, is that we didn't achieve what we had hoped to accomplish. I think the American people are going to regret that we couldn't find a better way forward. And as I said, we look forward to our colleagues on the other side suggesting what they have in mind. So now, Mr. President, it's time to move on. And I ask unanimous consent that at 10 a.m. on Friday, July 28th, that's tomorrow, the Senate proceed to consideration of calendar number 175, H.R. 2810, the House-passed National Defense Authorization Bill.
Mr. President,
Objection?
I object.
The objection is heard.
I suggest the absence of a quorum.
Mr. President. Mr. President.
Give us a second.
The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Alexander.
Schumer is going to be speaking in a second, just so you know. We're on a little bit of a couple second delay, but he's about to speak, so we will hear Chuck Schumer speak next.
Leader,
I ask unanimous consent the quorum be dispensed with.
is there objection? Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. President. And first, let me say it's been a long, long road for both sides. Each side had sincere convictions, and we're at this point. So I want to say 3 things. First, I would suggest we turn the page. It's time to turn the page. I would say to my dear friend, the Majority Leader, we are not celebrating. We are relieved that millions and millions of people who would have been so drastically hurt by the 3 proposals put forward will at least retain their health care, be able to deal with pre-existing conditions, deal with nursing homes and opioids that Medicaid paid for. We are relieved, not for ourselves, but for the American people. But as I said over and over again, Obamacare was hardly perfect. It did a lot of good things, but it needs improvement. And I hope one part of turning that page is that we go back to regular order, work in the committees together, to improve Obamacare. We have good leaders, the senator from Tennessee and the senator from Washington, the senator from Utah, the senator from Oregon. They have worked well together in the past and can work well together in the future. There are suggestions that we are interested in that come from members on the other side of the aisle, the senator from Maine, the senator from Louisiana. So let's turn the page and work together to improve our health care system. And let's turn the page in another way. All of us were so inspired by the speech and the life of the senator from Arizona. And he asked us to go back to regular order, to bring back the Senate that some of us who were here, have been here a while, remember. Maybe this can be a moment where we start doing that. Both sides will have to give. The blame hardly falls on one side or the other. But if we can take this moment, a solemn moment, and start working this body the way it had always worked until the last decade or so, with both sides to blame for the deterioration, we will do a better job for our country, a better job for this body, a better job for ourselves. And finally, I'm glad that the leader asked us to move to NDAA. We need to do it. I can say on this side of the aisle, we will move expeditiously. I know that the senator from Rhode Island has worked with the senator from Arizona on a list of amendments that can be agreed to, and we can finish this bill up rather quickly. And as I mentioned to the majority leader, there are some other things we can do rather quickly, including moving a whole lot of nominations. So we can work together. Our country demands it. Every place in every corner of the world, of the country where we go, the number one thing we are asked, and I know this because I've talked to my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, is can't you guys work together? Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. I yield the floor.
Okay, we are back here. And so we've just seen, oops, hold on 1 second, please. I don't know if anybody is speaking next, but we've just seen the Obamacare replacement bill fail in the Senate. The Senate version failed, 51-49. Mitch McConnell said it's time to move on, which suggests to me they're done with it. That's at least what it seems like. It seems like Senate's done with it. Maybe it's sometime in the future. Maybe next year, maybe in a couple months. I don't know. It seems like at this point, if they're going to move on, they'd maybe move on to infrastructure, tax reform, something like that. But at least for the moment, it looks like no Obamacare replacement or repeal anytime soon. What do you think about this? Give me a shout on Twitter. Let me know what you're thinking. I'm at @Lookner, at Lookner. I'm also wondering, I just tweeted out, will we hear from the White House or Trump tonight? Might we see a President Trump tweet soon? I don't know. I'll keep my eyes out. We'll see. We'll see. Vita Marie writes, it disgusts me. They represent us, and she's meaning the Republicans, and she thinks the Republicans should have voted for this bill. I asked, will we hear from Trump White House tonight? Steve Grasha says no, and Deplorable Texas Guy 08 says probably. So some difference of opinion. Boo Grosh says, Steve, I'm sorry, they should wipe out McCain's vote. He is not able to make that decision with compromised brain. That is from Boo Grow. Scott Paul wrote me a while ago with 51 with the vote count. Thank you, Scott Paul. Desert Whale writes in, McCain is a disgrace to our country. McConnell's saying something right now. Let me just see what he's saying. It looks like they're about to adjourn, so I'm not going to go. So Obama, just so you know, McConnell's speaking, but it's procedural stuff. It's not like healthcare bill related. So we'll stay on for a little while longer here. If you guys want to discuss this, let's stay on and talk about it. Let me know what you think about this. Write to me at Lookner on Twitter, at LOOKNER. Zach Olson writes in. Oh, no, Zach, you wrote me before, so thank you. Lakeem Kadra writes in, if they fail to repeal today, which they did, do you think they will be able to repeal Obamacare this year? It sounds like they're just moving on. And here's the thing. What they might do is they might try to do some other bill under budget reconciliation procedure, which allows them to pass the bill in the Senate with only a simple majority. If they do that, so let's say they do tax reform and they use the budget reconciliation procedure to get tax reform through the Senate, then they can't do another budget, then they can't do health care through budget reconciliation, because roughly speaking, you can only do one type of bill like this every year, every session with budget reconciliation procedure. So it looks like now that they're not going to be passing a health care bill this year. That's what, at least for right now, that's what it looks like. Mark Briggs writes, thank God Trump won the presidency. Look at these clowns. The Democrats only care about what's in it for them. NY Mike 2S sent me a little video here. So let me show you what NY Mike 2S sent me. Let's see what he sent. Is it showing up yet? Where is it? Where is it? NY Mike 2S, where is your? There it is. Here it is. This says, sure there's the, sorry, I'll show you. Why can't I get this on the screen? Oh, it's so big. Let's see if I can shrink it a little bit. Oh, I know what I gotta do. Hold on one sec. That's better. Oops, that's not what I want to do. Here's what I want to do. Sure, there's the McCain-McConnell stare down, but don't miss Senator Gillibrand hitting her desk and standing in disbelief. So there's the video. This is the video of McCain when he voted no. Hold on, let me do this. Can we hear him in this video? So McCain's there, he says no, thumbs down, and then Claire McCaskill stands up in her seat.
Mr. Portman.
And is that McConnell right there? I can't see. It looks like McConnell is standing right there. Unless I'm wrong, I can't tell if that's McConnell with the glasses
Mr. Portman.
on. Anyways, so there's that.
Mr.
Thank you, and my Mike 2S for sending that to me. The Senate stands adjourned. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back to me for a second. Well, Lisa Henneke writes in, let's all think about little Charlie in Green Bay with single pay, because that's where the Dems are, because that's where the Dems who are obviously steering the ship are taking us. So Lisa thinks we are going to a single pay world coming soon. Pete Hudsbury says there isn't enough left of Obamacare to continue. People will be without health care. And I will say, you know, there is this point to be made that if nothing happens with health care now in Congress, whatever happens with Obamacare, that is the Democrats will own that, it seems like. So maybe Obamacare ends up working out great, and the Democrats can take credit. But if Obamacare has problems next year, when it gets toward the election, that won't be something that it's going to be. It's still Obamacare. It hasn't been changed at all. So that's something that I think the Democrats will probably have to answer for. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it works out. 4 years of MAGA writes in, thank you, Arizona, for re-electing an elderly man who cannot finish his term. You deserve the highest premiums Obamacare can offer. Michael J. Phillips says we must destroy the two-party system. Keck says Fox News is covering for the Senate in trying to blame Trump. Steve Feist says let it fail, then blame the Democrats. Trump's plan. JC says, Steve, I'm ready to stop paying these idiots. They better recognize who is their boss. If you'd like to write to me on Twitter at Lookner. Feel free to follow me there as well. Follow Right Side Broadcasting at RSB Network. And like and follow us on Facebook at Right Side Broadcasting. And feel free to subscribe to us on YouTube. And click the notifications bell so you get notified about all of our videos. And thank you for staying up late to the moderators tonight. Oh, I see Jacob Seals is in the chat room. Hi, Jacob. But thank you to the moderators for staying up late and all of you for staying up late and watching. And for writing all your comments. And I just want to say, if you like this coverage, if you like having somewhere to go besides the mainstream media, please consider making a donation because we are viewer supported. Your donations are what keeps us on the air and lets us do this. So if you'd like to donate, go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate, or you can click on the $ in the YouTube chat room. At the bottom of the chat room, there's a $. You can click on that. Or if you want to get free stuff like this Right Side mug, we have a Patreon page where you can get free stuff from Right Side in exchange for a monthly donation. That Patreon page is www.patreon.com/RSBN. www.patreon.com/RSBN. See if there's any more reaction out there that just peeking here. You know, and Schumer was saying this comment like, I hope we can now work together on healthcare. And look, I think it's a nice thought that the parties work together. I personally don't see this happening anytime soon. I'll be surprised if it does. Maybe I'm wrong. John Magoo says Trump by executive order can do what Obama did and stop the mandate. I have to go do some research on that, John. I remember reading something about it, but I need to do research on it. Thank you for writing in. Carolyn Bailey said, I hope Senator John McCain quits after this term. It feels like Obama's last year. He is trashing what he can. I hate this man. And Quay replied, might go to jail after the Russian dossier scandal. That's from Twitter, in response to a tweet I had retweeted. Okay, we'll stay on for a couple more minutes here. It's late, so, but we'll stay on for a couple more minutes. If you have any comments, get them in now. Hello, everybody in the chat. Everybody there. I see a bunch of the regulars there and the moderators. P-Cell writes, although this was a letdown from a Republican standpoint, the Mitch McConnell speech was excellent. He put blame back on the Democratic Party. How can they go back to states with high premiums and try to get those folks votes? So P-Cell thinks this might ultimately help the Republicans in the vote in 2018. The chat room that I'm seeing is not very happy right now on the YouTube chat. The people in there right now that I can see. Okay, we're going to wrap this up in a minute because I need to get some sleep, and I think you probably do too. Well, maybe you don't. I don't know, but I'm going to do it so I can be up tomorrow to cover more news. Yeah, JC, I'd love to stay on, but if I stay up too late, then that messes me up for tomorrow, and then I can't cover anything tomorrow. So there's balance here. Hi, Jacob. Jacob's in the chat room. Gabriel Pinheiro says, hey, Lookner, you need to know Olavo de Carvalho. He is a well-known conservative philosopher. Thank you for the recommendation. I'll have to check that out, Gabriel. I appreciate you writing. Okay, we're going to wrap this up because it's late. So, to summarize, Obamacare replacement bill fails. A lot of people thought it was going to pass tonight, but it failed. And I wonder if they really didn't know what McCain was going to do. Maybe, I mean, if they knew he was going to vote against it, I would think they wouldn't have had the vote. But it seemed like people really didn't know what was going to happen. That's why there was some gasp when McCain voted no. Matt Arnold says, hello from Smith Station, Alabama. It's bad enough for the IRS. It's bad enough for the IRS fining us for not having Obamacare. This sucks. So Matt Arnold is not happy tonight. All right. I'm going to say goodnight to y'all in the chat room. Music World already said goodnight. Good night, Music World. And good night to all the moderators and everyone, all the regulars and the new people. Appreciate all of your donations tonight. A number of people made donations. Really appreciate it. We got another donation here from Harv Black made a donation. Thank you, Harv Black, for your donation. Appreciate it. See, I knew Jason Thornton would be here. Jason Thornton is up at all hours. Thanks, Jacqueline O. And I'll say a couple quick goodbyes. But I gotta go. All right, I gotta get some rest so I can be up tomorrow and not be a zombie tomorrow and be able to report on news, depending on what happens. Thank you, everybody out there. Thank you, B. Neal. Thank you all, Sharon, everybody else out there. Well, we watched it. Thank you all for joining us and for all your comments during the broadcast. And we got to spend this time together. We got to watch it and spend it together. Bye, Lynn Jean. Bye, Jacob. And whoever else is there. Sharon. Angela Ray. Guinevere. Chad's there. B. Neal is there. Econogate is there. Family Guy fan. Music World. Good night, Jason. Good night, Tia Marie. The Mrs. Good night to the Mrs. Good night, Jumbo. Good night, Andrew Jackson. Good night, Matt Arnold. Good night, Desert Whale. Good night, Beaver and Zach and Sharon and Jerry. Jerry, thanks for the donations. All right, it's time. I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna go to bed. Let's see real quick. James Casanova, I just saw your message only right now. So James, I'm getting off the air, but I did see your message. That's the only one I saw is that one, James. But I have to go. So, that's it. All right. Thanks for joining us. Tomorrow, if there's breaking news, we'll cover it for you. Tomorrow, if there is a press briefing, we'll cover it for you. This is Right Side Broadcasting. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow and like us on Facebook. On Twitter, we're at RSB Network. On Twitter, I am at Lookner. Feel free to follow me there. And feel free to donate at rsbn.tv so that we can keep rsbn.tv/donate. rsbn.tv/donate. And if you donate, that lets us keep bringing this programming to you, which we like to do. Okay, I gotta go. Have a great night, everyone. Oops, hold on. What happened here? There we go. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you for joining us here at Right Side tonight, or I guess this morning at this point, and we'll see you very soon. Have a good night/morning.